What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Slackerz, bringing you guys our next matchup in the Everyone is Here tournament. So if you haven't seen it before, excuse me, I'm still battling a really stupid cold. It's a marathon, not a sprint, right? I'll get over it eventually. But anyway, if you haven't seen this before, this is a basically it's a tournament with 100 characters that get put into it, and then each day on the channel, I will upload one of the matches from the tournament. I'll talk about the two characters, try to make a sense why they might make sense for the DLC for Smash, and then we'll vote down in the comments. Speaking of votes, that's a part of the rules, so we'll throw the rules up on screen right now. And as you can see, for the first one, just remember this whole thing is just to be enjoyable, just to, you know, have a good time, alright? And why does that have to be a rule? Like I always state, we do have characters that are assist trophies, spirits, me costumes, characters that are, you know, quote-unquote, disconfirmed and won't ever happen. If you happen to like a character and you want to see them as a playable character for DLC, you are more than welcome, feel free to drop a vote for them. It's your personal opinion regardless of their current situation, alright? Yeah, just vote however you want. But how do you vote? Simple, down in the comments you just type who your vote is for between one of the two characters for the day. So yeah, but remember, you do only get one vote per person. Now, when it comes to the matchup, especially voting-wise, gotta remember that this tournament is double elimination, so meaning a character will have to lose twice before being officially eliminated. So you lose once, you'll drop down to the loser bracket, and if you lose from there, then you're done. Simple stuff. Let's see, I just went over the double elimination part. I'm forgetting the rules. This cold is kicking my butt still. But I guess it's pretty simple. You guys see the rules on screen, so if you need any more time, I guess pause it. But most of us know the rules by now, so I'm just going to jump into the match for the day and also the results. All right, so let's go over the results from last week, which was, oh, hold on. It was Professor Layton taking on Travis Touchdown, and it wasn't even close. It really wasn't close. And I was expecting it to be somewhat close, but nah, it wasn't. Here, let's just show you the results. Travis Touchdown ended up, if I can go the right way, Travis Touchdown ended up taking the W for this matchup. 51 votes to only 15 votes for Professor. So, congrats to Travis. Moves on to the next round of the winner's bracket. But Layton, still in the tournament, just drops down to the loser bracket. Just remember that. So, yeah, that's the results, and we got to jump to the matchup for the day. So, the matchup, excuse me, matchup is a very interesting one. It is Sylux from the Metroid Prime series, universe, game series thing, and he's taking on the only PlayStation rep in this tournament, Kratos. Now, there's a point, I don't know if it's really a point in contention, a point in, you know, favor of Kratos, but here's this thing on Twitter. Here, you see the picture on screen. What does this picture mean? So last week, right, it was last week, yeah, it was like November 17th, there was this tweet going around of this, I think a multi-company, like, I think it was 8 different companies from Famitsu, I think maybe Famitsu was the one hosting the event, I don't remember, but there's basically 8 different companies that were each going to have, you know, a person from their respective companies get put into a tournament for Super Smash Brothers. Now, why is that a big deal? Because PlayStation, Sony, they got to be in the tournament. I don't know if this tournament actually happened or not, but you finally hear, like, we finally got a Microsoft rep in Banjo and Smash Bros. Now we get, like, again, I'm not trying to spread any rumors, I'm just saying, alright, it's a little interesting, right? We get a Sony rep. Again, I have a big feeling it was all just for funsies, so I don't know, PlayStation got to have somebody represent Sony in this company's just Smash Bros. Tournament, so I don't know, maybe some people were really taking it like far and saying, alright, yep, pretty much, alright, they kind of ruined the surprise, Sony's getting a character in Smash Bros. Well, hold on, alright, just because you have all these 8 different companies, and sorry, I don't know all the 8 companies that were involved in this Smash tournament, should have looked that up, I apologize, but just because you're involved in this tournament, that, again, it's probably just for all these companies just to kind of enjoy, right? Smash is a very big game worldwide, lots of people just very much enjoy it. So just kind of seeing it happen, seeing Sony get repped in there, kind of yeah, it's a bit strange, but I mean, so I guess we'll talk Sony and arguably Sony's mascot, Kratos. Even though it kind of seems like Sony can have like a rotating door of kind of like faces. Like I guess the early Sony days it was Crash and Spyro because they were exclusive to the platform for a limited time, but then it wasn't. So you could say Kratos, you could say Nathan Drake from Uncharted, you could say potentially like Sackboy from Little Big Planet, Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Dexter, maybe Joel or Ellie from The Last of Us now could kind of be viewed as it. They got a lot of different characters that are, you know, they get the spotlight for sure. Kratos, God of War is one of Sony's longest running, best selling series to date. And look, if you're talking Sony AllStars, which they do have their own game, PlayStation AllStars, fingers crossed we get a second one, please. Come on, Sony, make it happen. PlayStation 5, could that be a launch title? There's a rumor about that a few months ago. I would love that. I just want a second one. But anyway, Kratos, while he could make sense because he'd be very recognizable and the play style, if you were to take somewhat, I'm not saying copy paste by any means, but if you were to take at least an idea of how the character could play, and you know what PlayStation All-Stars was, which a lot of people pretty much said, alright, that was a copy paste of Smash Bros. Yeah, it had its similarities by all means, but it wasn't simply, alright, here's Smash Bros. And we're just going to put PlayStation characters in it. And nah, they had different mechanics. Maybe not the best. Maybe some were broken. Maybe some characters were extremely unbalanced. We're not here to talk about that. Kratos, though. Moveset, he has all sorts of different things in his arsenal. And, like, he's so recognized. Like, I always like to bring up the point where going back a little over a year... excuse me. Damn it. Going back over a little bit over a year ago, Nintendo was wrapping up and finalizing their plans for the Fighter Pass, right? The one that we're currently on. And at that point, that was pretty much viewed as, alright, that is going to be the last point for Smash Bros. That's going to be kind of like the last DLC. I think at that time, that was their mindset, right? So, I always like floating this out there because I think it makes quite a bit of sense. When they came up with the list of characters, and let's just say Sony happened to be on there, and say Sakurai was like, hey, let's go get Kratos, right? Why Kratos would be a great decision? Internet breaking right there. In a way, you could say they were saving the best for last. Maybe in terms of the biggest reaction, the biggest pop, the biggest whatever you want to say for the character in Smash Bros. Something like that would be, honestly, it is internet breaking, right? We never thought we'd get an actual Microsoft rep, right? I've always been on the Banjo bandwagon. I always wanted to see him in Smash Bros. And then it finally happened. I mean, Phil Spencer was on board long ago. Smash Wii U 3DS, he was petitioning for it. And then it was kind of like, alright, how about Sony? They going to get one? Yeah, Sony's probably going to be the odd man out. I don't know. Nintendo's pulled off crazier things in the past, right? They somehow were able to get Cloud. Like, that was never going to happen, right? That was always a pipe dream character. Nope, not going to happen. Can't work. They're not going to work with Square. Square ain't going to allow it. Oh, yeah, by the way, here he is. Boom. You got Cloud. Sure, it was kind of minimal content. Few music tracks. Stage was awesome. I like the stage. Cloud was a very great character to play as. Like, something like in the realm of that. Just being saved for the last announcement for the Fighter Pass. I think there's a good chance that could actually happen. And, like, look, none of the leakers right now that are going around, nobody's saying nothing. Mainly because they don't know nothing. Let's be honest, they don't know anything. And they're just kind of covering their butts for whatever they're saying. That's just my personal opinion. But what if, in fact, this is something extremely huge like a Kratos? I don't know. I like to at least think about the possibility. So, another possibility I do like to think about, though. Sylux for Metroid Prime. Now, why Sylux could make sense. I like the character, personally. He's actually kind of been a character that I've wanted to see for the past couple games. And, I guess a big point for Sylux's inclusion. One, does not have a spirit in Smash Ultimate. Very, very peculiar. We have almost 1,400 spirits of Nintendo third-party indie characters in this game. And a part of all that Nintendo property, we have some random stuff like hockey player, tennis player. We don't have excuse me. We don't have arguably the most popular Metroid Prime hunter in Sylux. We don't even have him as a spirit. Alright, why could that be? Maybe Nintendo was thinking off into the distance. They're like, alright, maybe we will have a first-party character in the Fighter Pass. No, Piranha Plant was not a part of the Fighter Pass. But what if they did save a first-party character for that? Silex would make sense. Because again, going back a year, a little over a year, they were deciding on DLC characters, and they didn't know at the time that Metroid Prime was going to be reworked and relaunched, or at least they didn't tell us that, because they didn't tell us till like January of 2019. So, maybe saving Sylux to try to line up with a potential Metroid Prime 4 release date does make quite a bit of sense, to be honest. You want to promote one of your newer first-party games with a character from said game, because Sylux is said to be playing a pretty big role. There's not a lot known about Sylux's backstory, and from the info that we've kind of been given, that's kind of a route that they were going to take with the character. We're going to get to know Sylux a bit better. Should have a pretty decent role in the story, which, that'll be fun. I hope they don't change that part. Keep Sylux in there, give him some part of it, big part of the story, medium part of the story, whatever. I just want more Sylux. And, you know, like I said, excuse me. Maybe I should have done this with no face cam. But, yeah, Sylux though. I mean, there's quite a few signs that do kind of point to, all right, maybe he was considered. But then again, you're like, just because, you know, the no spirits thing, he's not even in the game by any stretch of the imagination. It's like, all right, what's really going on here? So maybe they were saving him. Maybe that was the plan. Maybe it still happens. Maybe it does. You know, because again, going back a year, they picked and they finalized the Fighter Pass characters. And then, just so happens, a little bit later down the road, Metroid Prime, they had to make the unfortunate announcement that we had to restart development on it because they weren't happy with how it was progressing. Which is, as a fan, somebody that's looking forward to getting the game, yeah, that's very I don't want to say dissatisfying, but it's just sad to hear. But I know Nintendo has the best intentions with their games. They don't want to just put out some dud and be like, well, sorry, you know, you get what you get. Sorry. No, Nintendo's not about that, so I respect that opinion. I hope the game turns out tremendous, so let's just go to the voting. Silex has my vote today. As awesome as an announcement as Kratos would be, honestly, really would be, I gotta go Sylux. I love Sylux. I just realized I didn't really talk about a moveset too much, but Sylux would make a great character nonetheless. Real quick, Sylux moveset does have a phaser, some sort of beam, basically fires it off, and it kind of like has a life draining sort of effect. So think of Robin's Nosferatu. Use the attack, and you know it starts healing yourself maybe a little bit, so you could have an attack something similar to that. Does have a like somewhat of a, I can't remember the name. I should have looked this up. I should have been more prepared, but I'm so sorry. I should have looked that up. I don't know. Let's just wrap it up. Who are you voting for, Sylux or Kratos? This is so bad. Yeah, Sylux or Kratos. Let me know down in the comments, and then we'll just give you a sneak peek for tomorrow. We got 2 first-party characters coming back tomorrow. We do have Ashley from the Wario series in general, overall. She's taking on Isaac from Golden Sun, so 2 Sis trophies duking it out tomorrow, so that should be fun. And then we'll get the results for who? Oh boy, that was a big matchup. We'll get the results of Rimu from the Toho project. I believe that's how you properly pronounce it, Toho. I was saying Toho, but I don't think that was correct. But anyway, she's taking on Heavy Weapons guy from Team Fortress, so we'll see how that one plays out tomorrow. That was a big one. There's a lot of votes in that one, so I wouldn't be surprised if both these characters have over 100 votes. I'm just saying. But that's for tomorrow. Today's wrapping up. I hope you guys enjoyed as always, and hopefully catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.